Hello, hello. Well, I hope you're showing better than mine. It's a bit, my computer's a little bit dodgy today for some reason. Never mind. Anyway, I'm going to want to talk to you about the challenges of finding a suitable venue for a craft group. And for the last 3 months, I have been trying to find a venue for a craft group for people with additional needs. I'm talking about adults here. And I tried tracing one venue that I knew well, and that turned out to be something of a nightmare. But I'm there. I've written myself a few notes here on some of the challenges of finding a suitable venue. So I'll talk around the notes, then I'll make sure I've covered everything I've thought of so far with this. You see, your first problem with finding a suitable venue is making contact. That sounds stupid, but um, who do the venues have a contact number outside? Do they have someone? Do they have a notice board that says if you want to book a room here, ring this number or use this email or contact this or look at this website? Not all of them do. And then if you don't know the area very well, like I'm still learning, I still feel as though I'm a learner of the area where around where I live. Um, because I've been here 7 years, but I'm still learning the wider area and what's around here. Um, so I have some local knowledge and some personal contacts, but not that many. But I know enough about the online world to know that there are various lists and directories out there which you can use to help you find a venue. Right. So you might find a venue that's listed by the local voluntary support agency or the local council or somebody that's sort of got one of these helpful websites where they list things, but then they also put adverts on, so they hope people will have a look at the information that people have put on there, as well as click on, as well as make a few pennies from the adverts. You know the sort of thing. That type of website has been around pretty much, been around 20 years. That sort of people were doing that one. Get people to put information on your website and then surround it with adverts so that you make money from showing them the adverts. Yes, I'm there. But the problem with these online lists and directories um, is where do they get their information? I mean, most of them rely on people coming to them and actually finding them so that they say, oh, well, look, we'll give you our information, we'll tell you who to ring on there. And I looked at some, and I'll be honest, I was, I actually could work out for myself that some of the information they'd given was out of date. There was, yeah, particularly the one with the local council one. People had given them information, and then maybe 4, 5, even 10 years ago, and it was still there, and nobody had actually updated it, and and you could tell because there was different information on the um, directory on the communities on the for the council as there was on the site for the website for the actual place. Something there. That's an interesting one, isn't it? Then, of course, in some areas, you could just go to the local library. My experience at the local library here in Wales is not particularly positive. Certainly, last time I tried to put a poster up or give them some information to share with other people, I was told oh, you need a Welsh translation. We can't have something that's just in English. We need to have your poster in Welsh and English. I've never tried again. Yes. And then you see, once you've got the contacts and you found out who you need to ring or email or where the form is on their website to contact them, not all of the venues actually respond to your request. I mean, there was one day I was in a panic and I was looking for somewhere, and I went through a list like that, and I sort of emailed emailed about eight different places, and only 2 of them actually sent me an email in response. That's a challenge. If you're trying to make contact with them and they don't get in touch with you back, yes, that is a challenge for finding a venue. Something to do with the what you might call unprofessional behaviours of the local community venues. I mean, all right, many of them are sort of run by groups of amateurs, but it's nice. It would be, a more professional approach would be helpful to those who are trying to help them actually achieve their aims and to get some pennies in by renting some space out. Their choice. Then, of course, once you've found the venue, you've got to make sure that it's suitable for the building for the people you want to serve. Now, that was one challenge I had. I knew who to contact for getting, I had the local knowledge to know who to contact and how to get hold of them on there. But then I couldn't believe it, to actually arrange a viewing to make sure that the venue was suitable took I didn't measure it, but it was at least 6 weeks and possibly nearer, and possibly just over 2 months. It was a long time there. So I'd approached them in the August, and I wasn't able to have it might even have been there. But it wasn't. I was going to say, took half a term, let's just say that, to actually get a viewing. It was crazy. So I knew the building, so I knew what the car parking was like. I knew what the wheelchair access was like to the actual building, but I wanted to make sure what the tables were like, and that meant I needed to get inside. And to get inside, that was a challenge. It was tough just to get inside the building, to get somebody to accompany me to look around the building and show me what I needed to know inside. Yes, that was a challenge. And then, of course, see, if you can, then the other thing is, if you can find it when you're going to look for the building, well, the people who you're going to invite will be able to find it as well. If you can find it easily, they'll be able to find it easily, and you'll be able to guide them round. Well, then there's the other issue of, is there a gap in their diary, or or should you say calendar? In other words, is there a space in their ways of doing things to let you in, basically? Well, the one that I would say that took ages to do on there, I was told at the beginning of that journey, oh yes, that afternoon will be fine. Weekday afternoon, that'll be fine, no problem. I get round to booking, and it's, someone has booked it all day, every school day until the for the rest of this half term. Pardon? Last time I looked, you told me there was a free space. I said, oh no, they've put their booking in now. They've booked it every day now. Sorry, there's no space for you. And it was a case of, what? and there was sort of like no information. They had no diary or calendar available. You just had to take pot luck and sort of put your booking form in, and if your book and they checked their system, and if there was a space, you there, and if there wasn't, it was hard lines, and you couldn't tell, and it was really, really, let's just say, again, unprofessional on there. So you found your building, you've checked it out, you found it's got, you found that there's such a space in their diary that'll suit you, because of course not all, like my diary gets full. I need a space where their diary and my diary both have gaps, so we can do the same thing. Makes sense, isn't it? Well, then you've got to start thinking about how on earth are you going, is it there? I mean, the heading I've got for this bit, which is the last of my 5 points on this, is that do you fit in with the sort of activity that they want to attract? Now, that might sound very strange, but it's something that I've discovered is very much the case with community venues. You see, there was one community venue I looked at, and I believe the venue itself was run by the local community council. So what they did is, if somebody wanted to rent that room, hire that room, who lived in the area, lived in that community, they would pay them. They would pay one rate. I think it was something like £7 for a session on there. But then it said that somebody who lives outside the area had to pay £25. Same session, but because they weren't contributing towards a hall in the way of their council tax, being the community council, living it, and they didn't live in that community, you had to pay well, what's that? Something like 3.5 times as much as the person that's there. That's sort of that's making yourself unattractive to outsiders. If anything does, doesn't it? But then, of course, some people take it the other way around. They give discounts to charity or community groups, so that if you are, if you are registered as a charity in there, they will say, oh well, we'll maybe knock 10% off for you because you're a charity on there. But you've got to fit in with their way of doing things, their sort of definition of what a charitable group is, which can be rather interesting, because some people take a social enterprise like Everyone Can Craft, and some people call it a business, and some people call it a charity, because in some ways it's a bit of it has some of the features of a charity and some of the features of a business, and people treat them in different ways depending on what people, I suppose in some ways it depends on what sort of mood they're in at the time, and how much they want to make their money for themselves, and how much they want to be seen as doing good for the community. Another strange thing that happened to me was I tried booking a room tried booking part of a church, actually. And the story behind that absolutely shocked me. You see, they all seemed to be all keen. Yes, oh yes, we're willing to help you. And then first they said, oh well, we have a craft group in our other hall. Why don't your people come to our craft group? Really? I don't think the two would mix, because the people who I've invited go to have a number of additional needs. and you've used the word chat in the name of your craft group, and I'm looking at serving people who find chatting very difficult. People who might only be able to say a few words, or maybe even only one word, and sometimes even decide never not to speak at all. Um, that's not going to work very well in a craft and chat group, is it? Hmm. And once I explained that, it was strange. Communications with them went silent. Prompt them once, well, yes, once, and never heard. And then after a week, it just sort of went silent for it went silent for a week. And there was a flurry of emails, 2 or 3 in a day. Oh, yes, we'll get this sorted, get this sorted. When they found out what sort of people that was coming to invite, and it was a craft group that was not willing to join in with their craft group, woo, yes, it went silent. Then, of course, other play, see, the thing is with all these community venues is they all have their own priorities. They all have their own mission or focus. I can say some focus on the local community and show that and sort of that focus on the local community is seen on the rates they charge. Some people are willing to give discounts to particular groups, because they want to help people who are benefiting, who are doing it not for the benefit of others, rather than just to make money for themselves. Um, Others, I I have a horrible feeling there's some problem with that one that went with the group that went silent, whether I have no idea what kind of problem it is. I could speculate and be very unkind, and then I could be completely wrong. I just don't know. There was some problem that arose that meant the communication went silent. And then other places, you see, they have their mission and their focus. They say, well, sorry, we can't do that because um, our documents say that we can only help a certain group of people, and that group of people have to live in a certain area, or they have to have a certain problem, or they have to be help, or they have to be part of our. They have to be part of the people who were helping for other reasons, and you get stuck because you don't fit in with their mission or their focus, and you're not really part of the in crowd, so to speak. And those are some of the challenges that I faced just trying to find a room. It's surprised me just how many things that and challenges that I faced just finding a suitable venue for a craft group that I wanted to resurrect from before COVID. And I just absolutely say I have my flubber has definitely been gasted. I really did not think it would be so hard just to be able to finding a venue. I thought might be the first challenge. Communicating with them, yeah, second challenge. Finding a building that's suitable for the people you want to serve, whether that's car parking, whether that's distance they're walking, whether it's on a hill, whatever, easy to find, whatever they're suitable for the people you want to serve. Finding a space in their timetable, yeah, that's on there. And then, do you actually fit in with the sort of activity they want to attract? on there, and they're the ones that you give are you one of the ones that they were willing to give preferential treatment for, and indeed even book a space for at all? All of these things, it just never dawned on me I would have so many issues in this area. I was thinking, oh yes, just go over there and book a space, book a room. By golly, it doesn't work like that. But I have no idea how to, and at this moment in time, I have no idea how to unravel that knot. I just don't know how to unravel it. It's one of those things. It's sort of as a woman of prayer, it sort of has to go that direction, because I've no idea how to break out of this maze that sort of turn this way and that doesn't work, and turn that way and that doesn't work, and it just feels as though I'm in a maze, trying that and you hit a barrier, try that and hit a barrier, try that and hit a barrier. And you wouldn't expect that to be so much of an issue. And yet it is. And it sort of made me wonder and think. You see, when I first started that journey, I had some personal contacts that were able and willing to help me. That situation that option is no longer available for a variety of reasons. So I was looking elsewhere, and I sort of realized, wow, this could be a minefield on there, and I've got enough now to know where to use the internet, to be able to search, to actually use to use the email, to actually I've got I've got a certain amount of well, let's just say I'm not stupid. Let's put it like that. And yet it has been an incredible challenge that has gone. Where are we now? The third week in November. It has been a challenge that I've been going on since the end of August, would you believe? So that's September, October. So that's getting on for 2.5 months. So 2.5 months, and I don't feel any further forwards in having a venue. I'm beginning to sound funny. I'm beginning to wonder if it would actually be easier to find a building that I could buy. I think that rather than rent for a couple of hours, the challenges I've had trying to get a room getting a room to hire for a couple of hours on there, that was something that I could use, and that was accessible to people, and suitable facilities and so on. I am seriously beginning to wonder whether I'd be better off trying to buy a building, or at least try and get one that I could rent on a long-term basis, because quite frankly, this has become an incredible challenge. Looking around for a venue and knowing the sort of people I want to use, thinking of the people that I want to come there, and trying to negotiate with people, and to be on for, say, must be 10 11 weeks. I'm thinking there are people who can find and buy property in that time. And I suppose that's part of what's why I've got a dream for doing that. But who knows? Who knows what the future holds on that one? it certainly in the moment seems to be a way around this impasse of actually finding somewhere. But there. Anyway, that's enough of me wittering on for now. On there, the hassle that I've been having the last few weeks. So now I've got to work out what my next strategy or tactics is going to be, because I don't want to not get this off the ground, but at the moment it is proving so hard. I just don't know what to do with it. And I keep on saying, God, what do you want? How are you going to get round through this? And I have absolutely no idea how this is going to work out. I know that I want it to do, but boy, it is proving so complicated and so difficult that I really don't know quite how to do it. Anyway, that's me having a wander and a moan. Goodness me, 26 minutes and having a wander and a moan about a building. Oh well. Thank you for your patience as you've watched this far, and I'll get back on the do another live probably tomorrow. Bye for now. Oh.